What is up, my lovely people in YouTube land? So in today's video, guys, I thought I'd draw y'all a book. No particular reason, just something I felt like drawing, so I was like, let's draw a book. So when you think about books, there's all kinds of books that are out there. There's science books, there's math books, and then there's books on thriller movies like It. And then I think one of my favorite books are science books. And when we were growing up, there were these encyclopedias that had an edition as part of them called Young Scientists. And these were color-coded, and each of them had a different topic that you could read upon. And I think if I remember correctly, they were all alphabetical. So if you chose A, it would be all science-related topics on the alphabet A, and then B and C and so on and so forth. I think one of my favorite ones was when I got to P, and there was this cool experiment in it on how you can recycle paper. At first, when I read about it, I was like, nah, that's just made up. But then I was like, you know what, let me give it a try. So I had some old books that were lying in my cupboard from when I was in school back in Kuwait, and I thought, I was like, let's see if this experiment really works. And then what it asked is you had to tear the paper up and submerge the paper in water so it becomes kind of like a pulpy mush, and then you had to take that soggy paper mushy water thing and put it on some sort of like a tea strainer, but a bigger version. And somehow it said that the ink would dry, or the ink would come out of it during the whole soaking process. And I was really surprised to see that that's exactly what happened. Granted, the paper that was finally came out from all of that was nothing close to what we'd see in like a brand new book, but it was kind of cool to see how it came out. So when I thought about the color pattern for the book, I was thought let me do something that's bright, and it's kind of got like that newspaper feel to it, so it kind of has that textured old time look to it. But I think one of the most coolest things to ever revolutionize the way we read is the Amazon Kindle. And man, who would ever think that you would be able to read books digitally and actually have a catalog of books all there on your tablet? You could have between I think 5 or 6 books without actually having to have the physical book. And what's cool about it is when you have the tablet, you can actually turn the pages digitally, and it actually mimics what it would be like to hold an actual book. Yes, granted, having an original book and holding it, you're never going to be able to duplicate it with a tablet, because obviously if the battery ever runs out, there goes all your book reading. But with the old traditional books, you have that thing to fall back on. It doesn't matter if the power goes. If you were reading something, you could just put a bookmark in it and pick up from where you left off. But the things what really intrigued me and have really excited me about books is whenever I've gone to a Barnes and Nobles back when I was in the US, it's amazing to see the amount of books that are available to read. There's so many different variations of books. And even back when I was in the university, I worked at the library, and one of our roles in the library was to return books back on the shelves when they were returned by patrons. So that was always a cool thing to do. And there were some parts of the library where they had these big, huge encyclopedia looking books. And these things were huge. And obviously it had never been touched or seen or checked out because of how big they were. But it was just amazing to see the different type of sizes of books that were available. And Yeah, I mean, like, but when you think about education and books, I mean, yes, you can get all kinds of education from books, but the final thing is for you to implement it and, make with it, or take the information that you get from it and either you apply it to your life, or you can, just keep it with you and maybe share it at some point when it is relevant. But trying to lose my thought of what I was actually gonna say. But when I make these videos and I think of topics to draw, it's always a spur of the moment thing. Like for this one, like I felt like drawing a book, so I drew a book. And trying to think of one of the Disney movies or the cartoons, and where I don't know if it was Tinkerbell, but where they have these cool witches and sorcerers, and they read out these magical spells from the books, and then this light and this magic spell kind of like just emerges out of this book and all that. So there's so much storytelling that can be done with just books, so I think that's one of the reasons why I chose to draw this book. And not just this book, I mean, all the other things that I draw on this channel, I mean, it's all inspired by just random thought. And these voiceovers, I'm actually having a whole lot of fun doing them, because what it lets me do is look back at the drawing from what I did earlier on in the day and just talk to you guys, as if you guys were sitting right here next to me while I was drawing, and just tell you all my thought process as to what it was like making this video. So hopefully you'll get a lot out of these videos, and you'll have some fun, enjoy, and draw along. And I hope you'll keep drawing. And I guess we will wrap this video up. See y'all in the next video, guys, and have a good one. Take care. Bye for now.